Happy evening and welcome you all to the webinar on CBSE affiliations now going completely digital. If there is one thing that the pandemic has reinforced again and again, it is a fact that we live very much in a VUCA world, VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex and extremely ambiguous. And I think it definitely challenges every educator to evolve towards newer technologies, to adapt, to adopt and grow towards newer pedagogies. For example, today, even if you take the NEP or even if we take the current restructuring of the CBSE affiliations, I think we need to really understand and get into deeper insights to adopt it to our new education system. So we would definitely delve into this in detail in a little while. So on this Saturday evening, I thank you all for joining us, and I take the absolute pleasure of welcoming all of you on behalf of School Skies and APJ Consultancy. So this is Dr. Pravina Jagdish from School Skies, and it's a complete pleasure to have you all here today, and we greatly look forward to a very interactive session with you all, talking about your, clearing your doubts on CBSE affiliations, how it has gone completely digital from this March and the restructuring pattern here. And now to quickly set the context for the meeting. So on a first note, we have a very riveting success story from our principal, Mrs. Dhanalakshmi ma'am. She's principal of Therapanth Jain Vidyalaya from Chennai. So how they've harnessed the power of digitization along with School Skies and how their school is really doing great job during the pandemic and continuing to do so. And second speaker, we have Dr. Ajit Prasad Jain, and I'm sure he's going to give you very authentic information on the restructured CBSE pattern, the mandates on, what you can place your school curriculum or structure on. And lastly, I would like to talk a little bit about on the CBSE mandates for the website, which is now currently becoming very important because the website becomes the face of any school and it's the first contact that anybody has with your school. So quickly, let me introduce you to Mrs. Dhanalakshmi, the principal of Therapanth Jain Vidyalaya, Chennai. It's a pleasure having you here, ma'am. And to talk about ma'am, she has 27 years of service in the education industry. She's a passionate maths teacher, engaging students in a very phenomenal way. And she believes in the 21st century skills such as creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. I completely echo that with you. It's an honor to have you here, ma'am, and we'd love to hear the success story of Therapanth Jain Vidyalaya. Over to you, ma'am.
Happy evening, Dr. Pravina and others. Really great to hear the introduction. Thanks for the great introduction. I really feel proud to share a success story of Therapanth Jain Vidyalaya because from traditional learning, we have transformed to online teaching during this lockdown. But what is unique, which made this success, that really I wanted to share. I just want to share one PPT. It will be the clear picture about our school. So let me share my PPT first. So first and foremost, really I have to thank once again Dr. Pravina for giving me an opportunity to share the success story of Therapanth Jain Vidyalaya, so carpet tied with Microsoft Teams, facilitated by School Skies. Every experience of life is unique and as a learning for us. Life is not a bed of roses, it is gins and pitfalls. Only those who made with the grit and determination alone can be successful in life. With a grit and determination, due to COVID-19, that time, really we were able to do it because of the determination only. I can say proudly because the schools were abruptly closed without any time frame. So that time, our management really at this juncture, our mainstream management stepped up to the remote learning strategies, I have to say, because they were thinking in an innovative way, burning the midnight oil and working round the clock. The management tried all the possible resources to reach the students and stand by the teachers. I have to say their objective was to make the decision to reach the students without any interruption during the lockdown. I mean the education for all the students. For that they were thinking a lot, and at last they thought online platform will be the suitable. But that time we were struggling with the Zoom. When the going gets tough with Zoom, at this momentum, our management introduced MS Teams facilitated by the School Skies, which became boon for us. The School Skies unlocked the doors of education to the students. I have to say that because what is unique in that is totally, in the unprecedented time, we were able to do effective means. First is A1 certified MS Teams powered by School Skies, because that time we had so many, the hurdles whether it is safe or not. For that, we recognized with the A1 certified MS Teams, and it was with the basic setups with so many things I have to say, demo sessions, creating the records, resetting the password, everything. The best feature out of it is, I can say, to pin the students, because when we want to show some individual attention means definitely we need to see the student's face and what they're exactly doing. So for that, this option was very helpful for us, even the force muting and making the students to present their videos and PPTs. And it was really fun. Even the students thoroughly enjoyed because they were able to interact by raising hands. These are the basic features we were really brought, to closer, and this made successful, I can say that. And then, the recorded session and downloading the attendance were played the vital role. Even the email notice and managing permissions and posting assignments, everything I have to say this and all, included for our success. Because posting assignment means, because it was very difficult through the WhatsApp and all, because this gave the platform when you post in the chat box, and the students were eagerly waiting for that, and writing practice, to enhance the writing practice. And we were able to have on par with live teaching, I can say that. And I have to say this app also, Microsoft Whiteboard app, because for the teachers, like not only a principal, as a math teacher also, I have to say it was very, very fantastic tool for us to use, to solve the problems. And the students also, they felt very comfortable, because live classes we used to teach on the board, like physics derivations and mathematical expressions, everything. But this also played a vital role, and this was a unique feature. I have to say that this became a tremendous victory for us. This also I have to say that. And next is actually large gallery and together mode preview. So online examinations, competitions, or even I thought of conducting the assembly. These are the things I was setting in my mind. This gave a hope. Yes, definitely we can do wonders. But at the same time, I was thinking, it will be the great struggle initially. Definitely, how to implement to my teachers who were accustomed to traditional teaching, and in course of time with the ready-made modules of Educom, as to switch over to online teaching overnight. How to overcome these issues? I was thinking. So that time only I just got an idea. Why don't we form the tech team? So I just named it as a TJV tech team, because that is, I've collected the computer science teachers, and then I just framed a TJV tech team. And then each team was same, and team people worked very hard day and night, and people trained others teachers with the endless mock session, I have to say, and weekend interaction. And the tech team played a vital role to this success. I was astonished to see the development of the teacher within a short span. Our teachers were multitasking, I have to say, researching and developing material, brushing up on the technical skill. The things moved on the right direction. We kept our teachers as ready for the online classes. Yes, never limit yourself. We live in a limitless world with endless possibilities. Never say you can't, and never give up. This is a TJV quote. We have taken it as, and our chairman, sir, Sri Jaganmal Jitoka, gave me the correct planning that day should start with the yoga. So we also implemented that. Became, because very well, the yoga class will be the control mind, body and soul. It reached all the parents as well as the students. I can say the first day start became a success. That also, because it was a unique early morning 7 to 8 class, we started with yoga class. And the next is other subjects were also taught in innovative methodologies, like even lab activities, because they used to say, only in the live teaching, in-person teaching, only we can go to the lab and we can learn the concepts. But our teachers, through the MS Teams, with the different methodologies, like I can say, you are seeing in the module, you can make out how they were using, how they were innovatively they were handling the kits, math kits and concept they were using. And then they were using phonetics, they were teaching through English recorded video, and then colorful modules of science, So everything, because short span of time. So that's why within video, you can easily see it. You can also get inspired for that only. Especially I'm sharing this success story because everybody should get inspired, and we can do any, it is not a tough task. You can also embrace any change in the world. And then even some optimum methodologies also we have tackled, actually, like sometimes tough times before using the Microsoft board and all, the teachers were trying with the refrigerator tray. Even the magnanimous management provided all the electronic gadgets. That also I have to say in this period, because they have provided the mobile stand, and writing pen, tablet, even the gadgets like system, laptop, everything comfortably. It was, we were able to take the classes in a hassle-free manner. I have to say that. Then the teacher worked, that also teachers also have to speak. They worked tirelessly and made best efforts to make the curriculum forward under the given circumstances. TJV teachers, really I have to salute for my success. I mean, for the team success. We at TJ, are dealing with the situation as it unfolds and taking learning forward, I have to say, our endeavor to facilitate the academic process with while both teachers and students are under lockdown has reached the new dimensions. So that is the one slide you are seeing, that dimension, new dimension you are seeing. And also, in academic, because as an academician, I have to see this also. During the lockdown, we have to keep the students engaged, and also we have to assess how far. Even our correspondents are used to say, the students you have to assess and see. Then only we'll know the quality, how the students were, whether on par with the curriculum, are they listening or not. That is a checkpoint. For that, this tool played a vital role, like a large gallery. Through the large gallery, there was the invigilation, and also we conduct the subjective and objective, which became a benchmark, and also the e-report card that reached parents virally, and they came and appreciated to the core. This became a milestone of TJ, we have to say that. And the correction also, the system correction we have done, and you are seeing the teachers, how they are invigilating the students, over MS Teams. It was a fabulous performance and a thrilling experience for the teachers and others also. Even we have learned so many things during this pandemic, I have to say. And then not only academics, with the aim of infusing spirit of fun and creativity into online learning, conducted many non-scholastic activities like puppet shows, fancy dress, poster making, storytelling, dance, singing, action songs, etc. I have to say, even brainstorming sessions, like we conducted quiz competition, virtual quiz competitions, and then artistry day, online quiz competition, poster making, singing, jam, vegetable carving, whatnot, whatever we were doing in the school events, normalcy period. The same thing, we didn't have any hurdle, and we were able to continue on par with live classes. This itself success. One more, I have to say proudly that the journey had its own hardship, but now I would say proudly that we have reached the considerable milestone. The school functions, celebration, national festival, intra and inter-school competition we were able to conduct successfully. Microsoft Teams facilitated by School Skies. I have to say this proudly, otherwise I'll be failing in the duty. And for the success behind, we have the efficient collaboration also. Initially, during the lockdown, March 23rd, we started with the meeting with the management. The management gave the systematic planning, and with that planning only we were able to move ahead actually. So for that, the vital tool or the backbone for us was MS Teams. So we were able to conduct all the meetings, even KG parent meet, one-to-one, HODs meet, internal meetings, everything we were able to do successfully through MS Teams without any hindrance. When in Rome, be a Rome. It's the right saying. Here in TJV, the teachers were groomed and tuned to another arena of high-tech teaching. My teachers adapted and adopted to the new scenario of teaching. Means the whole credit goes to the tech team who trained the teachers to reach this milestone. Hats off tech team. They've worked very hard, fabulous in this time, right time. I have to honor them. Because of them only we got very good success in this academic year. There is a strong likelihood that there would be a high dropout rate from schools, but we in TJV proved contradiction to that, made the students to glue on the roles, and we had a tremendous parent support and cooperation, because the quality of teaching, online teaching, even during the pandemic, we didn't get tired or we didn't step back. To reach this great success, I would say the unique way of online teaching technologies through MS Teams only. Teachers and students started embracing the new normalcy. I would like to register here in future learning. Definitely TJV will be following hybrid learning. This is a great success for us. I thank the entire TJV team for this grand success in high-tech teaching, and also special thanks I have to say to School Skies, and who have been traveling 10 months now, more than 10 months with us, because whatever we approach, the escalators of School Skies, we used to, guide us, and they were at the back, and my tech team is very strong, means because of School Skies, I have to say. So really thank you, and over to Dr. Praveena. Thanks for the opportunity, Dr. Praveena. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for those very kind words on School Skies, and it's really inspiring to see, how the school has undergone a digital transformation. It is not just digitization; it's the entire culture that you changed, and I think definitely it's one good example of how leaders have tackled the situation in the VUCA world, like I was telling. So it's fabulous and very nice to hear, and I wish your school and your tech team many more milestones to come. Thank you. So with that, we will move on to our second speaker, Dr. Ajit Prasad Jain. So sir will be giving in valuable insights on the CBSE affiliation restructuring, how it is going digital, and we all know sir. So he's been ex-governing member of CBSE. He's been a great leader and a doctor of technology, and more than anything else, he's a process person. So he understands process and he can put together things. So sir, waiting to hear from you and how we could take this forward in the schools, respective schools. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Pravina. Good evening, friends. The pandemic has changed the entire thing zigzag, and the teachers, those who are not tech savvy, because of the pandemic, they become tech savvy. Even the language teachers, they have used technology. Even the yoga teachers use technology. And in some schools, the physical education classes also, they have taken online through Teams and other platforms. So the pandemic has changed the entire scenario in the school education system. Now CBSE has brought in a lot of changes in the affiliation, and they made everything digitalized, and really they brought in artificial intelligence into affiliation process. And as per the CBSE's claim, the minimal manual interruption will be there in the processing of application forms, etc. So though you must have gone through the handbook, I thought it is my duty to always to explain and inform my fellow principals what is new in the system and what are the things that has changed. To start with, what I could say is, 1 minute. Can you able to see my screen?
Not yet, sir.
Now?
Yes. Yes, sir. You can go ahead.
Yeah. Now they're calling this system as SARAS. SARAS means School Affiliation Re-Energized Automation System. This refers to the affiliation system that has been re-energized or restructured for ensuring greater effectiveness. This is completely a digital system with the least human intervention, and will come into effect from March 2021. Initially, they are supposed to open the website on 1st of March, but recently the CBSE has announced that the website will open on 16th of March for all of us to apply, etc. And earlier, if you go through the affiliation bylaws, which was released on 18/10/2020, they are given 21 items, right from approval of middle school syllabus, first affiliation up to secondary level, etc., etc. There are 21 provisions were there, 21 categories were there. Now they have reduced the 21 categories to 15 categories. What they have removed is, they have removed closure of school, and they removed advancement of session. These are the two important area, and also there was a provision for affiliation from class 6 to class 1 to 5 primary permission, that they removed, and they removed affiliation from class 6 to 10. They removed from class 6 to 12. They have removed. So there are 6 categories they removed, and they have brought in only 15 categories. And these 15 categories also, they have divided into three groups, Group A and Group B and Group C. And Group A is consisting of approval of middle school syllabus, fresh affiliation up to secondary level, and secondary level switchover from other board, and fresh affiliation up to senior secondary level, and senior secondary level switchover from other board, and permission of site shifting and restoration of affiliation. These are the 7 activities under Group A, and for which there will be 100% inspection. Whoever is applying under these categories, there will be 100% inspection by the team. And Group B, for this Group B, it is upgradation to secondary level. If you already got up to middle school approval, then you can apply for upgradation to secondary level. And if you are already having a secondary level up to 10th, if you want to upgrade to senior secondary, then upgradation to senior secondary, and then extension of affiliation and permission of 2 shifts and section increase. Now here, earlier, for all these categories, 100% inspection was there. But now, whatever the total application they are receiving for that particular period, now because the window is opening for 3 times in a year, in March and June and September. So in March, now they're given from March 16th to April 30th. In these 45 days, whatever number of applications they are receiving, out of which 3 to 7% only they are going to select. Randomly the system will select, and then the IC will be formed. So this is a major change. What I could feel that earlier, even for upgradation to secondary level and senior secondary level and extension of affiliation, if your school has not inspected in the last 7 years, then definitely extension you will get an inspection and permission of 2 shifts and section increase. Now here, for all these activities, only 3 to 7% cases will be selected randomly by the system and IC will be formed. And there is no pre-registration that is called KYC. You can go into registered login and you have to use your LOC credentials, your username and password for LOC or your YSS, whatever you are using, the same credentials you can use. So this is part B. Part C, introduction of additional subjects and permission of name change of the school or name change in the society or name change in the trust or name change in the company, and transfer of one school from one society to trust, one society to another society, one trust to another trust, and one company to another company. This is called Part C, and there is no inspection for all these categories. For all these 3 categories, earlier for the introduction of additional subjects, if you remember, if you are applying for, if you suppose a school is having only a commerce stream and they are applying for science stream, then wherever you are applying or whenever you are applying for a subject which involves practicals, then inspection was must earlier. Now in the new system, for any kind of additional subject, whether it involves practicals or not, no inspection at all. So you need to fill in Part A and Part B, and Part A is compulsory what you have to fill in, and Part B will be taken care from the OSS data. So there are Group A and Group B and Group C. For Group A, 100% inspection. For Group B, 3 to 7% inspection, and for Group C, there is no inspection at all. Now here, for the part that is for the Group A, for the new affiliation, and for them, pre-registration of KYC. That is your address and your telephone number, your website, all the data. What is KYC? I'm going to show you at the end of the slideshow. And then you need to pay 10,000 rupees, and then you have to fill in Part A. And once the Part A is scrutinized by the system, once everything is okay, then only you will be allowed to go in for Part B itself. Right. Now the timeline, as I told you, for applying to 3 categories, For Group A, 16th March to 30th April, and 1st June to 30th June, and 1st September to 31st October. And extension of application 16th March to 31st May, and after 31st May also you can apply, but with the fine of 25,000 rupees per month. And for all the other cases, that is part C, additional subject, change of name, and the transfer of society. For these cases, from 16th March till 31st December, throughout the year. This is the timeline for submission of application form. So the schools, I don't think I have any principal here whose school is yet to be affiliated. Maybe some principals will be here who are going to apply for extension of affiliation. In your case, your time period is 16th March to 31st May without fine. And now for Group A, you have to fill the KYC immediately. And then Part A you have to do, and there is a mandatory conditions. What is mandatory conditions? I'm going to show you at the end of the slideshow. And immediately after the KYC, you have to do that. And then generate the self-certification and then fill Part A. Once Part A is over, then Part B will be, and you have to pay 10,000 rupees. And Part B, then you have to upload Part B, and the balance fees you have to pay. Once A and B is over, KYC is over, A and B is over, then everything is acceptable by CBSE as per the norms. Then the IC will be formed within 15 days of your online application. Earlier, 31st March was the last date, and the inspection will come somewhere in October, somewhere in September, August, from August to September or October. But now it is not the case. 15 days of receipt of your application. They are not going to wait till the last date of the session. Once your application is complete application, KYC and Part A and Part B is accepted by CBSE and the entire fees is accepted, then within 15 days from the date of receipt of your application form, the IC will be formed. Right, and then the inspection will be conduct a physical inspection within 22 days from the constitution of inspection committee. We need not wait. We cannot wait for the date to be given by the inspection committee members. And the IC report will be submitted on the completion of the inspection, and order of the grant, if everything is okay, within 30 days. So if you take the calculation from the date of application, 15 days for forming the IC, and from the forming of IC, date of IC, within 22 days, the inspection should be over. So 15 plus 22, 37. And once the inspection is over and the committee submitted the inspection report online, within 30 days, your application fate will be decided. So altogether, 67 days, exactly 2 months and 1 week. Within 67 days, you will get to know whether you get your affiliation or not. So earlier, there are cases where it used to take 1.5 years to get our affiliation. Now, because of the digitalization, within 67 days, our application fate will be decided by the CBSE. And if there is some deficiency, you are not eligible for affiliation, then a deficiency report will be generated and it will be intimated to you, and then within 15 days a review committee will be formed. Within 15 days a review committee will be formed, and then the review committee will listen to you and accept, or they will hear your complaints or your answers for the deficiency raised, hearing by the review committee. So within 15 days, the review committee letter will come to you. And once the review is over, within 2 days, the school will be informed whether your school is grant affiliation or not. If the review committee also rejects, the system reject your application, then there is a review committee. If the review committee also reject, that's all. You will not get affiliation for that year. You have to wait for one more year. I think I made it very clear, right? And then the category B, 100% inspection, as I told you, for all these cases. Approval of middle school syllabus, first affiliation up to secondary level switch over from other board, first affiliation up to senior secondary level, and senior secondary level switch over from other board, permission of site shifting and restoration of affiliation, 100% inspection on the site, and upgradation to senior secondary level 3%, upgradation to senior secondary level 5%, extension of application 3%, and permission of 2 shift only 5% of the total application received, and section increase, it will be decided on case-to-case basis. I will make it very clear, the section increase and additional subject, it will be given only after 2 years as per the affiliation bylaw. But the affiliation handbook is silent when you can introduce the new additional subject. But as per the, if you go through the affiliation bylaw, which was released on 18/10/2018, it says the increase of sections and the introduction of additional subject, it will be given only after 2 years. Right. Now here, part C, introduction of additional subject and permission of name change of the school, etc., and transfer of school. For all these 3 categories, there is no inspection at all. Now coming to the workflow for the part A group, that is group A. Once your KYC process is over, then you will fill part A, and then mandatory conditions and the link of the mandatory condition and disclosure on the school website, and 10,000 rupees you have to pay. Once everything is over, then the system will analyze the mandatory requirement is fulfilled. Then part B you will be allowed to fill, and then you have to pay the balance fees, and processing will be taken place immediately, and they will prepare a report, and when the school meets all the criteria whatever CBA is expecting for a new school to fulfill, the school meeting the guidelines, then formation of IC. Right. Once the IC is formed, conduct a physical inspection, IC report submission to the board, and if the IC report, the inspection committee recommend, then immediately you will get the grant letter. There is no questions asked. Suppose if the inspection committee is not recommending, then review committee, then hearing by the review committee. If they recommend, then yes, then your grant letter will be given. If no, then intimation will be given that I'm sorry, board cannot affiliate your school for this current academic year. Then ends the matter. Right. Now for the part the group B, extension of affiliation, etc., school will use the existing credentials to the login, and part A will be filled in by the school and pay the 10,000 rupees fees, and the mandatory conditions required. Then generation of report cards and course, and they will prepare 3 report cards based on your data, whatever is available. And for the part B, the data will be popped up from your OSS. Whatever the data you are given in your OSS, all that will become here. So it is mandatory. It is very, very important that you need to give your OSS data updated. You need to update your OSS data. For example, if I remember correct, there is a column, your school fee structure. You will say as per the fee committee. You will not disclose. And similarly, your teacher's salary. You will never put the school teacher's salary on the website. You will say as per 7th Pay Commission. That's all. But here, explicitly, you have to give what is the PRT scale, what is the TGT scale, what is the PGT scale, what is the principal scale, what is the vice principal scale. Everything you have to give very clearly. Then only see whatever data you are given in the OSS, that's okay. But the marks will be given. If the data is clear, then you'll get full marks. If the data is not clear, salary, for example, for salary as per 7th Pay Commission, no other data, then you will not get the full marks. You will get certain less mark. So therefore, if the total score is up to the mark, the score is up to the mark, then what the CBSE has kept some score. If your score is above, greater than or equal to the score what the CBS has kept, then grant letter will be issued. Suppose if your total score in the 3 report cards is less than what the CBS is expecting, then automatically an IC will be formed. Then you have to go through the process, IC process, etc. And that IC also, it's not physical condition, it is only VYOS. It is only virtual inspection of schools. And the report will be submitted to the board. And if they recommend yes, then grant letter will be issued. No, then you go to the review committee. If the review committee recommend, then you will get your grant letter. If no, then not eligible for a grant letter will be issued. They make it very clear and everything is good. Suppose even after the not eligible grant cases, then I said there will be a hearing committee. After the receipt of the report of the inspection committee, the discrepancies pointed out by the inspection committee leading to not eligible for grant will be communicated through an online mechanism. Every institution whose inspection is over will have the right to appeal against the discrepancies pointed out in the inspection within 7 days of the communication not eligible for grant. Then institution shall be given an opportunity to represent their case before the review committee to take a final decision. Now, who will be the review committee? Who will go to the review committee? 2 representatives of the applicant, either chairman or secretary of the trust or society or a company, or the principal or the director or trustee duly authorized by them, along with self-attested photo ID card, shall be represent their case after not eligible for grant in the scrutiny or inspection, along with the complaints and supporting documents before the review committee. Alternatively, this may be a physical review committee. Alternatively, suppose if the COVID situation is going to continue, because we know in Maharashtra, in Karnataka, there are 6 states where the COVID cases are still going up every day. Then the meeting may be conducted in a virtual mode. So there is a chance for all of you, for those who are getting the not eligible case, to go before the review committee and present your case. And if the review committee accepts, then you'll get the affiliation. So the members of the inspection committee shall also attend the meeting if need be. Review committee will look into the discrepancies and the contention of the institution against the discrepancies pointed out in the inspection report and gives its recommendation online. The recommendation of the review committee shall be placed before the competent authority for the approval, that is secretary or the chairman. The decision of the competent authority shall be final and same shall be communicated to the school. In case any clarification is needed by the review committee in the matter of the land or legal point, the review committee may seek the clarification from a panel of experts which will advise the review committee suitably in that matter. The panel will be finalized by CBSE from among the persons having professional expertise in the respective field. So apart from the review committee, if the review committee feels that they need to get an opinion from an expert committee, then an expert committee will be formed from among the panel of experts identified by CBSE from different parts of this country, and your case will be represented. So therefore now this time the inspection is there, and then review committee, and then your review committee will ask for the expert committee. So there are 3 committees which is going to go through your appeal, and then the board will take a call. So in my opinion, the CBSE is giving all fair chances to your schools to represent your case. Now for coming to the group C, school will use the LOC credentials to log in, and part A and part B form will be filled by the school, and the mandatory disclosure on school website and pay the full fees, and then communication to the school, and then you need to generate the self declaration form and upload with the signature. Right. Now, these are the 7 documents which are to be uploaded, which has been kept ready by the schools. It goes very elaborately. The recognition and land certificate, and for the information of all the principals, the appendix 6 of the land certificate, it has been changed and it has come yesterday in the circular number 3. That they have completely changed the format. You need to go through the circular number 3 and take a printout of the latest circular. So these are all the details you need to fill in. And same everywhere, the recognition, land certificate, fire certificate, building safety, and then society or trust company registration certificate, and details of additional classroom for senior secondary and science subjects laboratory. All that photograph, everything you have to upload. Now the extension of affiliation, recognition, fire safety, building safety, and society registration. And then for permission of 2 shift, fire safety and building safety, teacher details for the 2nd shift, and you need to get the permission from the state government for introducing shift system. Earlier also it was there. Now they are asking, in my opinion, is another NOC case to get the permission from the state government for shifting, for opening a shift system in your school. And section increase, land document availability, fire safety, building safety, society registration, and additional classroom details for the increasing section, and additional teacher details for the proposed increase section. And then introduction of additional subject, details of additional classrooms for senior secondary class, and the science subjects laboratories. And science subjects we need to show, and we need to upload the photographs of the labs. And for the name change, it is only society registration and permission from the state government. We need to get the permission from the state government for name change of the school, and transfer of the school from one society to another. That means buying a school, etc. Fire safety, building safety, society registration, permission from the state government, land document in the name of the change society. This is more important. Point number 5 is more important. Land document in the name of the changed society, and society registration, the new society registration. Right. These are all the points. Now, very important points here. The date of inspection of school will be finalized by the board through system generated mode. The date of inspection shall be within 15 days from the date of issue of the inspection committee letter. Suppose 1/4 is the inspection committee letter, then within 15 days the inspection should be completed. The auto-generated alert about the inspection would be communicated to the school and the inspection committee 1 day before the date of inspection also. In case the inspection committee is ready and the school fails to get the inspection done on the stipulated date, the school will be penalized with a monetary penalty of 25,000 rupees, and another date shall be fixed. The school should get another opportunity. However, the application shall be rejected if the school fails to get the inspection done after 3 opportunities. So first opportunity will be given. For some reason or other, you are not able to conduct the inspection within 15 days. Then after paying of 25,000 rupees, one more chance will be given. Again, you are failed. Then third chance will be given for another payment of 25,000 rupees. Then the inspection should be done. If all the 3 times you are not able to finish your inspection, then your application will be rejected. In case of non-conduct of inspection on stipulated date by the inspection committee, the school is ready, but the inspection committee is not ready. Then the inspection committee members will be debarred for further inspection for the particular calendar year. The same would be communicated to the management of the school for further necessary action against the principal. They are not leaving the principal, debarring from inspection committee. They will intimate to the management that your principal has not obeyed the orders of CBSE. Please take disciplinary action against the principal. Now it is up to the management what disciplinary action they are going to take. Okay, these are all the points I thought I can share with you. And as I told you about your circular number 3, can you able to see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now this is called circular number 3. Everywhere, whether it is group E or group B or group C, everywhere they are talking about what is the mandatory condition to be uploaded in your school website, wherein the help of people like School Skies is mandatory. I'll show you what are the details you have to put there. Based on this only your marks will be your scorecards will be calculated. Mandatory disclosure, public disclosure, general information, name of the school, affiliation number, school code, complete address with PIN code, principal name, qualification, school email ID, contact details of the landline or mobile number. And then these are the documents. These are all new things which has come only yesterday. All these years, nothing was public. Now all these documents will be public, which should be available in your website. Not only your parents, any public can go through your documents. Be careful. Copies of affiliation or accreditation letter and the recent extension of affiliation, if any. And copies of societies or trust or company registration documents, certificates. Copy of no objection certificate from the state government. And copy of recognition certificate issued by the state government. And copy of valid building safety, that is your Form D certificate, and copy of valid fire safety, and copy of your DO certificate submitted by the school for affiliation or grant of affiliation, and copies of valid water and health sanitation certificate. All these certificates have to be in your website. And then the result of fee structure of your school, annual academic calendar, list of school management committee, SMC, and list of parent teacher association. I doubt how many schools have formed the parent teacher association. Now it is mandatory. You have to form your parent teacher association and give the details. And last 3 years, the results of the board as per applicability. And here are the results. So if your school is 10th standard, then you have to give. And if your school is 12th standard, then you have to give. And then teaching staff, what is the number of teachers you have, and then the school infrastructure, total campus area, number of size of classroom, number and the size of the laboratories, including computer lab, and internet facility, number of girls toilet, number of boys toilet, and link of YouTube video of the inspection of the school covering the infrastructure of the school. And this is the certificate what I was land certificate. Earlier it was called Appendix 6. Now it is called Appendix 10, Certificate of Land. They entirely changed the format. These are the latest land certificate, right? So every school, they need to put all these details in your website. So it is mandatory for all the schools to get in touch with your service provider and see that everything is available in your website. Then only you have to give the link, whatever you are uploading in your website, all the details, the link should be given in the application form, and the system will go through and they will verify and the marks will be provided. And based on a progress report, what they are calculating, 3 progress report, based on that only your application will be considered. So it is very, very tedious task, and you have to be very careful. Even if you leave something wrong, then you will not get the desired mark, then unnecessarily you will get an inspection. So to avoid all this, keep yourself updated and seek the help of professionals like School Skies. And if you have any difficulty, if you want any guidance and help, I am always there. You can get in touch with me. You can visit my website also for all the details. www.apjedu.in, and I'm most welcome, and I'm ready to help all the schools whatever way they want. Whether you want me to do your online application form and do it, whatever the help you want, I'm ready to do it. You are most welcome to get in touch with me. If you have any other questions, Praveena, I'm ready to answer.
None, sir. Quite elaborate. And probably we'll take the questions at the end of my session.
Is there any chat? Anybody has asked any questions?
No,
if you have any questions, you can ask.
Okay.
You can write in your chat box. I am ready to write.
Sure. So thank you, sir, for that very elaborate information. So friends, with that, we'll just throw in a few thoughts on CBSE mandates that should be there on the website. I promise to keep it very brief. And so I would just spark off a little bit of thinking from you all. So the question is, what do you think is the first contact that people have with your school? You can put it on the chat box. So usually if it was a year or even 2 or 3 years back, we would say it's the reception, or it was the front office, or it's the gate or the campus. So very, very typically or ironically, it has changed quite a lot today because people don't want to actually come in person. They don't want to have contact. So it's more and more emphasizing on the importance of a website. So website typically becomes the front face of any school as in today. And it becomes so pertinent for us as school leaders to keep that updated. So I'm just trying to share here. I think most of the things were given by Dr. Ajit Prasad Jain on what is the mandate that should be on the website. But still, I'd like to delve a little bit details and best practices that some of our schools are using. So like I said, it is going to be a digital front face of your school, and it is going to carry the legacy of your school. So what are the mandates to design a school website? So the best practices for a school website based on digitization and based on CBSE mandate is, first, it should be interactive. So it should have authentic information out there. It should be live and enterprising website. It should have a dynamic portal, so that makes it live. And it has to improve the overall digital branding and the overall branding of your school. And definitely it needs to have some call to action links, which if you see most websites today may not have. And we can definitely get to that. So sir already stressed on a few points that are mandatory to be on the website. So I'm just repeating those. So for example, school managing committee info, affidavit of school, details of infrastructure, academic calendars, curriculums. These are simple things that we need to put up. TC, norms for your fees, complete teacher details, students numbers on class wise, your address of school authorities, the books that you purchase, the information on books, and any other circulars regarding that. And teacher trainings, what are the teacher trainings you've done? And of course, this part, the academic achievements. This is one of our favorites because we encourage all schools to get up this on the website, not just for the mandate, but for the branding and to show what your school has achieved. So if for those who are wondering what SchoolSkares actually does, it's not just about the website. We are an A to Z school management solution. So a dynamic website is something that we actually started off with when we started doing it for Bhavans. So because that was a very pertinent part of the school's branding and to carry forward what achievements the school teachers or the students have achieved. Apart from that, we have all the suite of features starting from online admissions, still getting TCs or bona fide on a digital portal. So that apart, like what Dhanalakshmi ma'am was saying, we also facilitate the team's platform, helping you go into the digital transformation. It's not just digitization, but the entire transformation and also certifying your teachers, enabling teachers and empowering them to go the complete digital way as a Microsoft innovative educators. So before I just end, I would like to show 2 or 3 best practices use cases here. So if you see here on the Bhavan's website that we've done, their Achiever portal is right there on the front, glaring. And so once you click on that, you have the entire Achievers list here, including the certificates. So how that's done is we give a 10 GB space there, and anything that is uploaded on the back end of the School Skies portal auto flashes here. So there's not much of work here. This is all done very intuitively. So even the gallery, it can be updated by the school staff, the teachers themselves, and that makes the website really live. So having all your pictures done on that day itself makes it very live. So this is a little deeper into the achievement section that I said that, you know, that was a favorite when we started doing, you know, school portals. So the entire system can be put here, you know, all the rankings, the levels, dates, achievement types. In fact, if you see the attachment here, some of the schools like DAV even put up their the entire certificates here. So two important things that you achieve here is, one, you are showcasing the best attributes of your school, the achievements, and two, you're also encouraging your students, your parents, and kind of making it visible to your audience what your school is achieving. So that's, I think, is very highly motivating for the student community as well. So this again is a gallery. So each one is given small buckets where you can put up all your photos into this. And the beauty is you don't have to really depend upon us or any vendor for that matter. So once you enable the portal, like any school management solution portal, or especially through us, then this entire thing will be auto updated. So any photo that you upload at the back end will be auto uploaded here, and it has a very good format as well. So apart from this, we have the announcements, notification, media library widgets, which we strongly recommend to whatever websites you've got, whether it's on .NET or whichever platform. So all your announcements should be on a day-to-day basis. It should not be something that is redundant, that is done before 3 months or 6 months. So keeping notifications and the media library, keeping it live by posting a lot of videos and circulars, all this makes it live and dynamic. So that's the word I mentioned, to make your website more live and dynamic on the educational front. So apart from the clickable links, so we can give a support link there where parents can actively ask admission inquiry questions. So they could want some info and they may not be able to travel or make a call. So this is the best way to do it. And in fact, if you see, this is one of the 9 or 10 step process that we follow for schools like Bhavan's DAV through our portal. So this has been extremely useful because the end-to-end of admission is done through this portal. You don't have to use any paper, any front desk approach. Even the results are announced through the portal. So that makes it a very seamless admission process through us. And another interesting features that we use is, of course, this banners that we provide for you, which you write any courses that you've taken. This can be automatically flashed on your website. You don't need us to do this. Any of your teachers can do it. So it is in such a simple, easy manner. It is designed that any PDFs can be uploaded, and this will flash as your new initiative or banner at the front of your website page. Of course, brand building it becomes so important at the current juncture. And if you see a lot of schools, DAV groups, they have a single URL for all the group of schools. So the thing is listed on a single URL. So that kind of Gopalpuram Ambedkar gives these schools a great visibility, and parents also don't have to go to different URLs to search for schools. So these are some good practices or unique practices that schools have come up with, which I just thought would share. So then I would like to just spark a small question. So have you ensured that you have a captivating website? Now that you have clearly understood that that is going to be the front phase of your school. So if you need any help on that, you can always get to us. You can send us your website URLs. So our team, we have our tech team who can actually take a look at this and give you feedback on whether we can put up any links on that or whether we can modify it, make it more live and dynamic and more captivating. So thank you all so much for being here with us today, and I'm sure it was a useful session, and I hope you will get back to us with more questions. So don't hesitate to email to us your URLs or any questions regarding even the CBSE mandates at schoolsupport@schoolskies.com. Of course, you can mail Ajit sir at ajit@apjedu.in, and we are also reachable at 999625 So with that, I think I'm going to leave so in case you have any questions on the mandates or how you could improvise your website or improvise your admission processes or your challenges in going digital, do type in there on the chat box. So any questions, Carmen?
Ma'am, no, ma'am.
Okay. So I think we can call this a great evening. Thank you so much, Dhanalakshmi ma'am, and thank you, Ajit sir.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Yeah.